everyone, my name is Sarah and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of the upcoming April YA releases that I am super excited for. There are way too many exciting books that are coming out next month, but I have managed to narrow it down to a pretty selective list, so these are like the ones that I definitely want to get to. So if I were to recommend any books to you that are coming out next month, these are the ones that you should read. But of course, everyone's reading is subjective, and if you know me at all, you know that there is a ton of contemporaries on this list. So if you read any other exciting books in April, do let me know if there are any others that I should add to this list. I would love to pre-order some really exciting upcoming releases. But without further ado, I am going to share these most anticipated April releases with you. The first book I'm excited to read is of course Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. We all know this iconic authorly duo, and I'm so excited that they're releasing another book together. You may know these two from the best-selling series Illuminate. They are just so cool, and these writers just like the best people ever. I know they're gonna kill me emotionally, but I'm gonna thank them for it because that's the type of people they are. I know that Aurora Rising will be just as incredible as Illuminate, if not more so, and I'm just so excited to get my hands on it. Aurora Rising is about a band of misfits in space who have to come together to stop an impending war. This war has been in the making for millions of years, and this girl is the catalyst after she comes away from a Cairo sleep that she's been trapped in. This book just sounds so brilliant. I know people that have already read it and I'm so jealous, but they absolutely loved it, and I know that I will too, so I'm just so excited to get my hands on it. The next book I'm excited to read in April is The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I know this is another very obvious choice, but I am Cassandra Clare trash to the bone, and of course I'm really excited to read her latest novel. The Red Scrolls of Magic centers around my favorite ship, Magnus and Alec. It's gonna be so good, and it's about these two when they go off for like a romantic trip in Paris, but they end up being like caught up in this cult that worships demons that apparently Magnus set up as a joke. It sounds great. I am just so here for Cassandra Clare's humor. I loved seeing Magnus and Alec in the Dark Artifices, but of course I needed more of them, obviously. So I'm so excited that finally we have a dedicated series all about them. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I'm like so jealous of people who already have arcs, but yeah, this is gonna be one that I'm just gonna hole up in my room and not let anyone see me until I finished reading it. Like, I'm deadly serious. I am also excited for The Devouring Grave by Christine Lynn Herman, which is pitched as Stranger Things meets The Raven Boys. Have you ever heard of something so amazing in your entire life? So this book is about a girl who moves to a small town to a new school, and she is one of the descendants of the founders of this town. Everyone seems like super wary of her, almost scared, and she finds these other kids who are also descendants of the people who founded the town. But there's also like a monster lurking at the edge of the town, and suddenly dead bodies start appearing in the forest, and these people have to band together to work out what's really happening. It sounds like such an intriguing novel. I love murder mysteries and things with a bit of paranormal elements, so this one sounds right up my alley, and yeah, I can't wait to read it. The next book on my TBR is Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett, who is one of my favorite all-time authors. She writes the best contemporaries, and I'm really excited to read her most recent release. Serious Moonlight is about these two people who suddenly meet after a really awkward encounter, and they are forced to work together at this hotel in Seattle. There's also like a mysterious writer who lives there, and these two people kind of get to know each other more while they work together. And it just sounds like such a cute novel. If any of her previous books are anything to go by, I will be swooning, I will be screeching at the pages, I will just want to devour this one in one sitting. Next up, I am excited for for, if I'm being honest, which, come on, let's all agree, it has the cutest cover of all time. This is a co-authored novel about this girl who's the queen bee in her high school who wants to make a move on her longtime crush, but then she majorly stuffs it up. After that, she is determined to win him back, so she kind of starts changing herself and trying to do that, but along the way she realizes that she's making changes to herself for someone that she might not like as much as she thought she did. This sounds like such a cute novel. I feel like we don't have stereotypically bitchy queen bee characters enough in YA, and I'm really excited to see this girl take a main role. This is another contemporary YA romance novel that I'm just so excited to read, and I can't wait to share my thoughts with you. The next novel I'm excited for is Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan, which sounds absolutely incredible. This is a book about a girl who works at a carnival dressed up as a giant hot dog. She confides in her best friend about this guy she has a crush on, and she asks her best friend to help her, but her friend isn't really that keen. This is a book about carnivals and crushes, and it's queer, and I'm just so here for all of that things. I know people have already read it and loved it, so I really hope it lives up to the hype, but nevertheless, it's just like a super cute novel to have on my shelves. In April, I'm also really excited to read How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. I absolutely adored Kathleen's first novel, which is Girl in Pieces. It was just so heart-wrenching and beautifully written, and I highly recommend it if you haven't already read that one. But How to Make Friends with the Dark is about this girl who finds her mother has passed away. It's about her living with grief and her family that's been suddenly ripped apart and how she feels alone in the world. This just sounds like such a breathtaking read. I know that I'm gonna cry bucket loads already. I've just submitted myself to that fact. But Kathleen Glasgow writes so beautifully, and I know that I will adore every single word on the page. The second to last book I'm excited for is Earth to Charlie, which has another great cover. How good are all these upcoming releases? I'm just swooning over all of them. Earth to Charlie is about this high school teen who spends his time wishing he could be abducted by aliens. After all, there isn't really anything that's keeping him here. He's convinced his mother was abducted by aliens, he gets bullied in high school, and he has literally one friend. He feels like there isn't really anything to stick around for, so he has to decide whether he'll stay or whether he'll go. This novel really gives me We Are the Ants vibes, which I loved. If you haven't read it, it's by Sean David Hutchison. It is my favorite novel by him, and I highly recommend it. But sci-fi elements embedded in a contemporary novel is an element I really love, so hopefully Earth to Charlie will be just as great as I imagine. And last but not least, another upcoming novel that you should all get your hands on is The Boy Who Steals Houses by C.G. Drews. I have already read this one. Of course, I read it the day I received it in the mail, and it was absolutely spectacular. You all know our blogging queen, Paper Fury, and her first novel, 1,000 Perfect Notes, which I absolutely loved, and The Boy Who Steals Houses is just as phenomenal. I'm getting like emotional thinking about it right now, and where the story ended up, like, how could you do that? Honestly, my soul has been crushed. I don't know how I'm supposed to live in this world anymore. So all I can do is recommend this book to you. The Boy Who Steals Houses is a gender-bent Goldilocks retelling about a boy called Sam and his brother who break into houses to live there and find supplies and stuff. But then one day he breaks into this house where a family is like still living. Sam suddenly finds himself immersed in like this whirlwind of people and children in this bustling family environment, and it just makes him like think about all the things that he's missing out on by not really having a family except for his brother. There he decides to kind of go along with it and pretend to be part of the group just for a day, and then he'll leave. But he meets this girl and she kind of changes things for him. Him and Moxie strike up a friendship, and he decides that this family is a family that he wants to be a part of. But it's not really that simple. This book is absolutely breathtaking. I love all of the characters so much. Oh my god, this book hurt me in inexplicable ways, but I am just so thankful for it. This book has autism representation and the found family trope, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm really hoping hoping there's like a second novel or a spin-off novel because I need more from these characters. It just can't end here. I refuse. But yes, I highly recommend picking up The Boy Who Steals Houses. Get your heart ripped out, sell your soul for the next novel. I mean, it's totally worth it. But that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about all of my most anticipated April releases. Do let me know if there's any I've mentioned that you're excited to read or any others that you think should be on my TBR. I would love to hear your thoughts. See you next time. Bye everyone. Without further ado,